Hello everybody, welcome back to an episode of Trails Beyond the Horizon. In the last parts, we finished off Vaughn's routes, had some crazy stuff happen towards the end of it, where some new masked faces appeared who look very powerful. So yeah, we finished Vaughn's routes, we kind of sort of solved the case. And now we're off to do Reen's routes, where we're still walking around Basil. So, let's see what we gotta do here. Got some 4SPGs we gotta do, and all that kind of fun stuff. Alright. First things first. Buy all the foods that I can get. All the drinks, all the new equipment, new recipes, all that kind of fun jazz. I got a lot of Sepith too. I didn't realize I had so much Sepith. Let's open up all of our shit since I have Sepith to spare. Well, that was nice while it lasted. Okay. So I did get some new cores, so let me see what Mr. Reen can have on him. I need probably Arc Feather, right? That's what I want on Reen, on this one. So I need more wind. Put that back on here since I got a spare. Heavenly Fortune. Serendipity? I don't really need item drop rate, do I? I do get a little bit, but I do get win on top of that, so I guess so, yeah. I need more mind. Let's... Wait, what was I going for? I was going for, was it Heavenly Fortune? Yeah, I was going for Heavenly Fortune. I need mind and wind and water. That on you. There we go. I don't really need arts on you though. I'll put fear on him. Alright. Arc Feather's fine. Seraphic Force would be nice, but Guardian would also be have too. Need Mind and Earth. Let's do Impede. Hidden Vein. Deflects Hate. Alright, Smog. Sure. With that, and Shield Buster Barrage. Alright, Mr. Crow. I need Earth. Okay, they'll give you Fatal Lance, that's fine. For this one... Avenging Air would be nice to have you, so I need Time and Wind. Let's go with that. A better strike. And... I'm still like one... Oh no. Oh no, I have enough wind. Right? Yeah, I have just enough wind. Okay, that'll give me Avenging Arrow. Having an Amethyst ring and Onyx ring on here is kind of dumb. Let's put Cast on there. And then we have this. I want Arc Feather. Make counter arts or quick arts. 100% on evade. Evading arts would be nice to have, actually. But you're not an evasion, so it's not. That's pointless. Arc Feather it is. Mind and Wind. Recluse. Put that there. Shit, I need to open up that. Heavenly Fortune, I need Mind. March Hare. Absorbs physical attacks. Interesting. You're not really an arts. Oh, that's fine. Then Miss Fee. I don't know what I want to do on you. Blind. Put that on there. And then with this one, I want Revenging Arts. So I need Space and Fire. Goldia Gem. I mean, that's a lot of space. Oracle. Don't want that. I'll give me Revenging Arts. Give that to you for evasion. And then... Execution... No. I need Win in Mind. I'm running out of Mind, actually. I need lots more. Alright, that's fine for right now. And then I got... Oops. Now with that out of the way... No. Nebulous Cannon. Let's give some variety. An Ideal Force. Wish I had an upgraded version of this, but I don't. Alright. She's fine. Let me do Laforte and I guess do another refreshing veil. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so I spent 10 minutes doing that. Ooh. That defeat for evasion. This is obviously a better choice for everybody. Let's see. Get some boots going. Any new accessories? No. Alright. They're all geared up and good to go. Got some movies we can watch, so let's watch some more movies over here. I haven't seen Golden Blood yet. Rated 15. I think Crow will get a kick out of this one. A sinister pharmaceutical company seeks to shake the very foundation of the world with a deadly engineered virus. Tasked with sealing its design documents, Zoe and her partner Rick began sniffing for clues, which leads them to the chief developer at the lab. Zoe attempts to get close to her target in the way that she, as an A-class spy, does best. I think we saw that in one of the previous games, didn't we? Pretty sure we did. Hell yeah, I knew he would get a kick out of this one. That part where Drew Lannister showed us the goods? Mwah! Mwah! Perfection! That director really did his homework on what men want. Crow. Anyway, this is only the R15 version, right? Wow, they seriously pushed the info on what was allowed. You think so? This was way toned back from the R17 cut they released last year. That one had a scene where she was swimming butt naked, and then there was that risque catfight with the female researcher. Oh dear, some of the actress really was put to the ringer. Are you alright, Altina? You've been pretty quiet. There is something that's been bothering me. I know I can't do anything about it at this point, but I am 17 years old. Yet in spite of that, and the fact that I've grown taller, they still ask for my ID to verify my age. Oh, that's what you're hung up about? Don't sweat it. At least you got some growing up to do, unlike a certain shorty here. Oh boy. She's giving him the death stare. Wow. Really sealed your fate there, pal. It's okay. I'm used to it at this point. I've been asked for my ID more times than I can count. It doesn't matter to me how that it took longer for them to verify my age than Altina's. Not one bit. Sweets. Poor Toa, just can't catch a break. She just can't catch a break. I can watch one more movie. I've already seen this movie, so I'm just gonna skip it all. Oh no! I pressed the wrong button! No, I wonder what their takes were. I pressed the wrong button. Shit. God damn it. I meant to skip to the next scene, not all of it. Fuck me. Just fuck me. Oh well. Accidents happen. God damn it. Thank you for taking this time out of your busy schedule. The scheduled modules are operating well above the expectations, so it appears that we'll be able to finish on schedule. Great! The part of the space program in charge of it has hit a good stopping point, too. Still, I never guessed that's what the tech unit side was up to. It would have been nice to take part in it. Going back on site for the final simulations, right? Assistant prof? You should go drinking once everyone's wrapped up. We can meet in Liberal, or even Arabonia. Sounds fun. Not the most flattering abbreviation for association professor, but oh well. Ass prof. Man, so this is where you went. Oh, hey guys. Wonderful job with the exercise today. You two were amazing. It was no big deal. Oh, Crow. Anyway, thanks for all your help, Esmeralda. We ran measurements on our machine on top of the monitor and assault frames, right? We just received the reports earlier. All the Zypher-Link figures and improvement proposals will be a great help to the tech team at Thor's. It's the least I could do to pay you back. I'm a part of the project, after all. But I gotta say, those tier things are sure impressive. It takes so much time to account to ensure pilot safety. You can really feel Professor Makarov's painstaking attention at every turn. What can I say? My uncle's really been plugging away since becoming a department head at the Institute of Technology. He's probably just trying to show off his brand new wife, though. Anyway, seeing as the three of you are together makes me wonder. Are you here on some errand for the tech unit, Lila? Indeed. How very perceptive of you. Yep, we've been exchanging information about it. I've heard the rumors, but, side note, why the maid outfit? And so old school, too. Kind of a weird thing here in the Republic. It's simply the traditional design liberally made uniforms. Perhaps I should properly introduce myself. I'm Lila, a provisional negotiator for Zeiss Central Factory. You have my deepest gratitude for your work in the joint exercise members of Thor's. Well. That's, very kind of you. How to put this? It's a pleasant sentiment in its hidden sort of way. On aside, you said you were a provisional negotiator for ZCF? It's like what Sharon does as Elisa's assistant at RF. I should note that my original duties as a servant lies with someone else entirely. Isn't she the servant to the mayor in that one town in Liberal? I can't remember the town name. Still, for a number of reasons, I have been trusted with negotiating on behalf of various parties, ZCF included. As such, it may be that I will have to cause to speak with all of you from Thor's again in the future. I see. I look forward to it in that case. West the Maria Tech Union. proposed by the Foundation and ZCF, and backed by all sorts of major manufacturers. But sure, it seems to be a lot going on with them lately. Neither of you are in on it, Toa, Allie? No, not at all. But it seems like George and Professor Schmidt might be. I have no involvement either. Though I do hear that Chief Plato's keeping busy. Well, we'll probably keep sounding out eventually. Let's just leave it to our itty-bitty mechanic for now. Alright. Got a Force PG here we gotta do. Gotta test out some bikes. Do I go up? Do I go down? Do I go somewhere? I go up. Hey guy. Good evening. We're here to answer a bulletin board posting we saw. Which happened to be Mr. Taoming from Red Star. I am, but aren't you the group from Thor's military academy way over in the Empire? Then all that talk that you're acting as proxy Spriggans is true after all. Wait, so you put up a Force PG already knowing that? That's somewhat surprising. Well, to tell you the truth, I consulted with the Bracer Guild first, seeing as this pertains to civil safety. But they told me there was a party from Erebona acting in Arkwright Solutions instead, so some of whom were involved in overbike development. This also being an overbike matter, I decided you would be better suited to taking it on. So that's it. Makes me wish we brought George or Angelica with us. Sounds like Alex has our backs though, as far as pushing work on us goes. At any rate, I'd be much obliged if you could help out with my request. This is our mechanic in charge of maintenance. If there's anything you don't understand about the job, talk to him. Name's Hongli. Nice to meet you. Not part of my resume I expected to land me in the Republic. But hey, no complaints here. So, give us the deeds. Your test bikes are on the fritz or something. Yes, according to reports we've received from customers taking our bikes on test drives. Apparently they'll experience engine stoppage or abnormal motor rotation under specific conditions. It hasn't caused any runaways or other full-blown accidents yet, but it's only a matter of time. Under specific conditions, you say? Curious. I should also mention that we disassembled a bike to inspect, but none of the components were worn, damaged, or out of specification. On top of that, only our demo models are affected. There have been no reports of the ones being sold. That's another oddity to keep in mind then. Especially if checking the parts didn't bring you any closer to the cause. Actually, riding the bike and reproducing the condition would definitely narrow down the candidates. Though, of course, that'd be a dicey proposition. No worries. No worse than any of the shit we've trudged through already. In fact, I'd say that makes us even more qualified. You certainly aren't eager to dive headlong into peril. I guess that's to be expected from pioneers of orbital biking. So, does it mean you can count on your aid? Yes. Leave it to us. No matter the cause, if there's any chance of an accident, then it's best dealt with as soon as possible. Oh, wonderful! I couldn't possibly be more grateful. Or tremendously relieved at that. Our pleasure. Now, could you start by showing us the bikes in question? Yes, follow me.
OSPG. Hajimeyo.
OSPG! This is one of our demo models used at the motor pavilion. No signs of faulty maintenance or missing parts that I can see. Yeah, nothing strikes as out of the ordinary. I performed a shard echo detection as well, but there doesn't seem to be any internal damage. This might be as far as we can get when it isn't running. In fact, in that case, yep, onto the quick and dirty method. As I thought, actually seeing it go out of order mid-drive will be our most reliable bet. Would you mind taking us taking the bike out for a short road test? Not like we didn't already figure there'd be some risk. They'll be back in one piece before you know it. By all means, go right ahead. Before that, you must mention that the malfunction only happened under specific conditions. Could you tell us more about them? Of course, they're prone to occurring during sudden accelerations and decelerations, tight turns, and other sharp movements. Or in more extreme cases, while performing stunts such as wheelies or drifts. Customers who engage in these acts will reportedly experience sudden engine cutoffs and brake failures. You gotta be kind of a tool to pull that stuff on broad property, test drive or not. But on the flip side, that means a safe driver wouldn't have as many problems. Regardless, as long as the cause remains unknown, the latent risk may be no different. Right, we can't afford to ignore this. A deeper investigation will go a long way here. Great. Then the two of us will take one of these puppies out for a spin. Alright. We appreciate you putting yourself in harm's way for this. Alright. Me and the crew took our demo bike up for a test drive out on the National Highway just outside of Basel. The pair would swap between it and Crow's bike, which they also brought in case of emergency. We're pushing 800 Selg an hour. How's it going? Any problems yet? Nope, not far from it. It's been perfectly stable so far. There's not much vibration or noise either. Looks like a pretty comfortable ride, actually. Mind if we switch off? Yep, doesn't raise a fuss if I up the speed while driving normally. Rolls along just as smooth as my own wheels too. So what if we try this? $1,250 Selg an hour, 1,250 Selg per hour now. Any luck? I opened the throttle pretty hard. Still no dice. If only had a better idea what it takes to make this thing go haywire. What now? Trying to replicate the conditions they mentioned is getting us nowhere. Well, unlike us, the folks who demoed these bikes didn't know squat about them acting screwy. Could be there's some elements that we're subconsciously overlooking here. Hey, Imperial Heroes, short time no see. Guys, check out the sights. Though I can't say it looks like you're having much fun. Major Amelia. Wait, did you have to return to base? You're a little off track if you hadn't noticed. Oh, I'm just touring around. My schedule's about to be packed solid, so I figured I'd wrap up a quick run through this route. I see. Well, not to interrupt, but do you think we could pick your brain for a second? Huh, I get you. In that case, how's about the three of us have ourselves a race? Race? Now there's a good way to push this thing into going out of whack. No better excuse to tear up the pavement and bust out the stunts. Exactly. Trying to force the issue and you could be at it forever. By cutting loose with a little competition instead will let the problem replicate itself naturally. That does make certain sort of sense. Alright, I'm convinced. Consider your challenge accepted. Something tells me you just want to have one last showdown for the road. Aw, am I that obvious? Give me some credit though. If there's overbike trouble, you can bet I'll chip in. Still, a race is a race. You better take it seriously. Hey, say no more. After all the guinea pig work we did for these things back in Erebonia, phoning it in just isn't an option. Right, even if it went out in the end, today's training is because I taught us the hard way not to underestimate you. So, if it's a battle of the bikes you want, Major Amelia, that's a battle you'll get. Alright, now that I'm all warmed up, ladies first, gents. The fastest chick on two wheels doesn't play around. Fine, time to show up the custom work I got done in the Free Cities. Sure fired up. Guess I better match them. Well, look at you two locking in. Okay then, how do you like this? She's a professional, alright. Don't throw in the towel just yet. We got a rep to hold here. Catch on the bend up ahead, Reen. On it. I won't push this bike to its breaking point anytime soon unless I ride to win. Should've known you'd keep up. Still a hair behind. But Amelia's skills are on a whole other level. That much is obvious. The same can be said for her bike's performance too. Speakers her style so other it's customized for acceleration. Which means my best shot for beating her is to... Oh shit. I got a pick? I didn't expect this. Man, well, I guess I probably should have expected it, to be honest with you. Hang on, let me go with my trusty handy-dandy guide. Maintain the same speed. She has the edge when it comes to sprinting, so instead... Playing it safe, eh? You do that while I wind my lead. Her turbocharger may be impressive, but there'll be no room once she's finished accelerating. You left curl in the dust. You caught up. Not just that, I'm moving straight past you. There's no way you can use it. You boost that powerful back to back. Nicely played. Let me guess, you goaded me into going full throttle just before we got to the bend. That way, the timing would line up right with the turbocharger's cooldown period. Talk about thinking ahead of the curve. Gotta give you props, Ring. Okay, time to really step on it. Huh? Don't tell me. Just when things were heating up. You good back there, Rain? I should be able to keep my balance until it slows down enough. With the engine. Yeah, it looks like it's completely shut itself off. Phew! Made it through somehow. Hey, it takes skill to roll into a stop to that clean. But anyhow, 101 since we just found our malfunction. Right, there's no smoke coming out. I didn't hear any parts breaking. The gauges don't suggest it had overheated either. Better pop it open and look inside then. Only question is, where? There's something about the way the engine died. Mind, let me take a peek at the speed limiter and safety devices. Yeah, the limiter and safety devices. You don't suppose... I had my doubts, but... Yep, I was right on the mark. Looks like the limiter sent the signal to all the safety devices at once, forcing the engine to shut off. So it's just defective. I think anybody involved would have been able to guess that much. Not a defect, actually. Everything's operating exactly as intended. In other words, it was engineered to work like this on purpose. Much as I hate to say it, yeah. Someone tampered with the parameters so that the system would overreact to sudden accelerations and turns. What's more, they installed a mechanism that sent the kill command to hold the driveline at once. Sounds like a pretty elaborate setup to me. Not exactly a long list of people who could have done that much tinkering. Good point. You guys sound like you guys are onto something. I'll just go ahead and get out of your hair then. Leaving so soon? Yep, that's enough distraction for one day, and I've already got plans after this. Shame that we had to cut the race short halfway through, but you guys had one hell of a... You guys had made it one hell of a bout. And if it helped you out at the same time, even better. Sure, thanks, Major Amelia. It's because of you that we got the truth behind this case. I didn't expect you to compete against you again either, much less in a scenario like this. It was a good opportunity to redeem ourselves. For what? You guys are the ones who won the training exercise. Still, glad we can walk away from this with no regrets. Well, that's that. Ready to head back now that we know the problem. Yeah, I'm a bit hesitant to bring it up out in the open. But we'll need to cut right to the heart of things in order to resolve this. What a story. I'm just glad you weren't hurt, Reen. So with Major Amelia's help, you managed to ascertain the cause. Yet, turns out this was no defect at all. It's by design. Care to explain why that's the case, Hong Li? What do you mean? The bikes were acting up because the limiters and safety device have been tampered with. Makes sense you couldn't figure it out when you were only looking for something out of order. It follows that the person who had access to the demo bikes, and only the demo bikes, would be the one in charge of their maintenance. Am I wrong, Hong Li? No hiding it now, I suppose. You're right. It was all me. What? What? But why do such a thing? You must have had a motive. Look, I can see the logic into appealing to customers and outshining competitors. A lot of higher-ups took it further than I could stand. The publicity they've been pushing is all but flashy stunts and breakneck speeds. That's constantly inciting customers to drive or test bikes recklessly. Hong Li. I told them to reconsider, but my frontline feedback just got me smelled out instead. All that tells me is that our PR department prioritizes profits over human lives. So you took it upon yourself to augment the safety device to in excess with the intent of curtailing the reckless driving itself. The way it sounds, hard-braking sudden engine shutdowns come with their own risks. I mean, Reen wound up in a pretty tight spot, right? Yeah, my balance was thrown off all at once out of nowhere. Even when trying to recover, I couldn't just adjust the RPM to do so. To be fair, it is probably less likely to cause a major accident than driving like a maniac. But let's be real. Less dangerous doesn't equal safe. You say that like it's something I don't realize. This is the only way I could protest. And if nothing else, I needed to spur the higher-ups to re-examine their policies. Hong Li, roads aren't unreasonable. This is a deep-rooted issue, one that can be traced back to the marketing division's disregard for safety. I understand now. Both the situation and how you feel, Hong Li. It's a dagger to my chest, really. I put a lot of trust in you and your abilities. But as a manager, I have to notify my superiors of this. In which case, the logical outcome would be his disciplinary dismissal. That won't solve the fundamental problem here, though. I sympathize with him wholeheartedly, and losing such an excellent mechanic would be a heavy blow. But even so, it's my responsibility to make a report. Tell me, how do you think I should handle this? No serious accidents have occurred thus far, and it's possible that some were even prevented due to his unauthorized measures. Knowing that, this matter is too complex to close out with just a simple punishment, at least in my eyes. Sir. Alright then, give us a moment to mull it over. What do you guys think? What do you think would be appropriate considering their positions? I think my law is good. I think my chaos is a little back behind a little bit. Actually, who has to be a big deal. Surely safety upgrades didn't pass quality assurance tests, but it's not like anyone got hurt. Of course, they're still gonna have to get nixed the way he dialed those emergency brakes up to 11. Yes, you're absolutely right. Gosh, we're lucky to have your help with this trial run. My deepest apologies, Hong Li, but I regret to inform you that your improvement proposal is hereby denied. There are limits to what can be achieved on site, as it turns out. Huh? Oh, I get it. Spin things that way and we can sweep it under the rug. I don't know. I mean, this isn't exactly honest. If anything, it's just plain lying. But then again, I guess that's pro for you. It's also for a fact, however, that these adjustments were proven to prevent willfully reckless driving. So this isn't necessarily a complete fabrication, depending on your point of view. Can't say I'm totally on board with the idea, but it certainly is Crow's kind of solution. Well, there you have it, Hong Li. Now that the testing process is wrapped up, could you fix those bikes back to how they were before us? Yeah, denied means denied. Besides, the way they are now is probably more dangerous, ironically enough. So make sure to get every last one of them back to spec. Capiche? No ifs, ands, or buts. Thank you so much. I'll never forget the kindness you've shown me in giving me the second chance. Well, now that that's settled, go and reset those safety devices on the double. While you focus on that, I'll prepare a report for my superiors. Yes, sir. Alright, next comes the challenging part. Getting ex post facto approval for this trial run. I'll just have to be careful so that there are no cracks in our story in the future. Well, hey, if you run into any snags down the road, just give me a call. Dealing with a case like these is a freelance contractor specialty. Sweet! Tom Ming then prepared the documents that would turn this into an official test. Thank you once again. This whole affair could have seriously tanked our company's reputation. We just did what we could to help, that's all. Glad it made a difference in the end, though. Take it from someone who's had a hand in the business. You guys got a lot of good stuff going on. I second that. Sure, but we also got a glimpse into the dark side of the industry. You wouldn't see this sort of thing in Rhineford, or is it just wishful thinking? There were some factional disputes in the past, but all should be well after the decisive measures Elisa took. Well, unlike them, the Vern Group's organizational structure adds a layer of difficulty when it comes to sweeping reforms. Nevertheless, I'm hoping this will serve as a springboard toward improving upon these issues, if only slightly. Rest assured, I won't let the good you've done for us go to waste. We appreciate that. Helping Orb Bikes reach new heights and wider audiences is more than enough a reward for us. Alright. Now, Chaos is done. Now I gotta do more. My Gray is lagging behind, so I need Gray and Law. Mayor Chaos? What the hell's that? Well, I guess I really can't tell until I get back to Vaughn, right? Alright, before I go there... Let's go back to Basil. Let's go back over here. We've got more force BGs we gotta tackle. Got some new shops to hit. CEO troubles. Alright. I should hit the what's it called? The fucking garden. If there's any subjugation requests I need to take down in there. You're Cohen, the Vern CEO secretary. We saw your post on the bulletin board. Indeed I am. You must be this group from Thor's military academy then. I heard the talk that you've been carrying out forced BGs in that Spriggan stead. Yes, assuming you have no issue with that. May we hear the details of your request? It was in regard to negative rumors going around about Mr. Tossin, as I recall. Correct. I actually think an outside party without any preconceptions will provide a more impartial perspective. See, I'm rather hesitant to divulge any details on it at HQ. Hence why we're having this conversation out here. Guess it'd be problematic if someone from the Vern Company overheard it, huh? Yes, it's for that reason I wanted to investigate it as confidentially as possible. Sure. We accept. As it happens, we chatted briefly with Mr. Tossin earlier. Even knowing his indiscretion last year, he seemed nothing if not sincere about making up for it. If a man like that is having his reputation tarnished, we can't just leave that unaddressed. Much obliged. I'll be more at ease with your assistance. It'd be kind of a letdown if the rumors turn out to be true, though. The guy's a one-man shooting range for easy targets anyway. Doesn't seem like all that big a deal, really. What exactly is the nature of these rumors? The CEO has come under 3 separate allegations, from what I've heard. 2 of them are even accompanied by photographs. And those photos are being spared too? How ruthless. By the same token, it means there's actual physical evidence fueling the gossip. Yes, it's possible like you to verify the set of photos for yourselves and inform your verdict. Understood. We'll be sure to look into that as well. First things first, let's try and get in touch with those who've heard the rumors. Yeah, I'd like to hear people's takes on them, not to mention what it is they're actually saying. If it's public perception we're going looking for, then the wider the net we cast, the better. You should try asking a receptionist in that case. They come into contact with a good variety of personnel and information. It'd also be a good idea to find someone from the Vernon subsidiary too, or a divisional employee with corporate and departmental connections. Thank you again for going on this effort. Do get in touch if you learn anything. Right. Can't say how much help it'll be. But we'll see how far our perspective can take us to start. Right. Oh no, CEO! Alright. Gotta go up. Hey guy. Yeah, I've heard the rumors. They've been circulating around the workshops and companies in our supplier network. Something about him having seedy underworld connections or whatnot. We're referring to St. Bill Tossin, correct? He doesn't really seem to type somehow. Last I remember, he was so clueless about Amada that he missed him skirting around right under his nose. Don't suppose there's any proof. Well, there's this quote-unquote photographic evidence going around. See for yourself. Feels a little less underworldly, more underwhelming. Man, the sunglasses certainly meets the stereotypes of a criminal sort. Apart from him, though, it doesn't seem all that condemning. Not to mention they're meeting in broad daylight. Yeah, I couldn't say what exactly, but there could easily be an innocent explanation behind this. Maybe, but you still got people buying into it, including some of the artisans we work with. Personally, I reserve the right to remain silent. You have to wonder where the story even came from, though. That's a good point. Knowing the source could change the context entirely. Setting that aside, who could possibly have taken this photograph? If this meeting was private, there are only so many who could have been present. That's true enough, which would mean someone involved snapped the picture with an ulterior motive. Though, of course, if they didn't meet in secret, then we can't be sure this wasn't a coincidental shot from an unrelated passerby. Either way, it feels malicious. Sure does. Someone went real out of their way to create this evidence. Gotta keep that in mind while we think this through. Alright. Let's go over here. This is the Basel Institute of Science, the Republic's premier bastion of education research, responsible for driving its technological growth. Feels pretty different from the Roar Institute of Technology, right? Even if on first impression they seem to be about the same. They're both scientific institutes, so they do both cover the sciences: physics, biology, chemistry, and information. Though, unlike Roar, they focus on research as opposed to manufacturing. They say that the Institute of Science has a long cooperated with Basil's Artisans Guild. They actually established the very company together. That's why the factories and local companies often test their prototypes. You see, so it's their history that makes cooperation between industry and university possible. Things that set apart from Roar would also be due to that history, right? Look like they just finished the test. I guess wherever you go, students make the same faces when they finish an exam. Reminds me of the kids at the Thor's branch campus. I'm feeling a little nostalgic myself. I bet. Come on, the test's done. We should be able to get going now. That's where we're headed, right? Yep, the continent's largest state-of-the-art observatory. My grandpa visited it long ago. Sorry again for making you all come out here with me. You don't have to apologize. I'm actually looking forward to it. Though it might be a little too early to be stargazing. Then why don't we take a little tour of this fancy institution? Good point. Some of the people who were at the event earlier are here, as well as some folks from Vern. Maybe we should plan to say hello to them too. But of course... Well, shall we begin our tour of the school then? Alright. Clearly there's nothing here. I think it's the bulletin board over there. So... let's go back to Newtown. Alright, there we go. There's some Let's... Hey, lady. Yes, I did hear there were allegations against Mr. Towson. A few employees didn't believe them, of course, but it still led to a loss of trust on some level. They were semi-convinced, in other words. If you don't mind my asking, were you yourself told any of these rumors directly? Yes, a colleague passed along this photo, though I can't say where it originated from. Ooh, damn! Old man's got game when he puts his mind to it. Is that your only takeaway? This picture appears to be how show the CEO enjoying a night out with a young woman. Eating some staff to believe he's been caught on a honey trap and was leaking company secrets. That's a very, very long stretch. How the hell did they come to that conclusion? That is a very, very big reach. Naturally, I've put no stock in this, but I am curious about the accuracy being depicted. There's definitely a sort of cheerfulness to it that comes off a little surprising. Even so, they were only conversing. I have to question whether any conclusions can be drawn from that. You're right. Normally we take a lot more than this to sort of these sorts of rumors. I get the sense that whoever spread them is a personal bone to pick with Mr. Towson. On one way or another, it's a little too early to make a judgment call on. We can't say there's absolutely zero chance this thing is legit. Still, a photo of this innocuous shouldn't be spreading rumors like wildfire. Yeah, it comes off a little forced to me. Might want to consider the possibility that someone's fanning the flames on purpose. Right. Let's keep that in mind while mulling the rumors over. Thank you for your time. You must be busy right now. Oh, not at all. Any disparagement against our CEO is just as much of a concern of mine. I'm happy to have him in service. She's just standing there. The place is not that busy. Missy. Oh yeah, word is that the rumor mill is going wild over at Vern HQ. The ones going around with the subsidiary work hour are based on some audio of the CEO's remarks. Not that anyone knows when or where it was actually recorded. Is that right? Are you okay with sharing it with us? Sure, have a listen. This company belongs to me. Our subsidiaries are disposable. Nice body on you. And there you have it. This recording's been a 3-for-1 fountain of gossip. Stuff like him misappropriating a company or belittling subsidiaries or committing sexual harassment behind the closed doors. I see. There's a lot of noise in it though, to the point where it's sort of tough to make out what he's saying. And even aside from that, something about it just feels off somehow. The audio was choppy at points in addition to the noise. There's a possibility that it was edited to sound like this. Not that now that you mention it, the way the words flow felt unnatural too. That said, it does sound like Mr. Towson Gets me curious how the recording was made. Going by the tone of his voice, it doesn't sound like it's from a public meeting or anything. Odds are that someone who was there were recording him maliciously. But whom? File that next to the question of our mystery photographer. Thanks for your input. I think we have a better grasp on the situation now. Oh, no worries. I'm glad I can help. Okay, that about covers all 3 allegations against Mr. Towson. Yeah, except all the evidence was either half-assed or inconclusive. Which makes it all the stranger that the rumors have spread this quickly. And even with only the flimsiest proofs, some people are still believing it. Going by how the photos look, though, I think we can assume they weren't faked or taken accidentally. The recordings, though, did have some sound unnatural. And even then, it was still his actual voice. Honestly speaking, if you consider everything we've learned as a whole... How to put this? Feels like Mr. Towson's being framed here. Thinking about it from that angle explains a lot. Not hard to imagine. We were just talking about how much of a walking kick me sign he is. Well, not to be a bummer, but it's still just one theory out of who knows how many. Indeed. What we need now is some corroboration. Okay. In that case, we should go Go get some rest from the CEO himself. Steering us right into the heart of the eye of the storm, huh? There's no better place to verify the truth of all this. Even if the rumors are legitimate, we'll probably need to sound out a situation anyhow. Good point. I'll give him a call so he knows we're coming. Okay, he said he can spare some time, so we're welcome to stop by. We can find out at the Institute of Science. Off we go then. I was just there.
じゃあ、行こっか。
Oh. You have obtained the necessary data, correct? Indeed, based on that, I shall be making further adjustments to the airframe and external units. Which means I'll need to return to Zeku space base as planned. Understood? Safe travels then. Oh, it's you. Well done during today's exercise. You managed to get some excellent data. I think we saw each other to get together briefly. If I could, I'd like to take this chance to say hello properly, Professor Cronkite. And thank you for your part in the exact exercise. I hear I might have been a little pest during the event. It's nothing to concern yourselves with. We both did what we had to increase the probability of success. I couldn't help but overhear, Professor. You're heading back to Zeku space base? Yes, I intend to travel with Major Amelia and the others by airship. I won't be able to enjoy the city's town's coffee for a while, but we all must make sacrifices. There's still so much that needs to be done. Adjustments to the machine, analysis of the satellite data. I heard he was taking on the majority of the technological and operational aspects of Project Startaker. It's so surprising it's keeping him busy, and he doesn't seem the least bit fatigued. He really is a genius. We won't take any more of your time. We just wanted to say thank you. What about you? Heading back to the base with the professor? No, I intend to stay in Beza for a while. Everything in the space base is on track. They don't need me at the moment. But there are some things in Beza that require my attention. Something that requires his attention here? Now? I see. Sounds like you're busy too. Then we should probably leave you to it then, shouldn't we? Thank you for understanding. Fewer distractions, the better. Just can't help the snide remarks, can you? It won't be long until you're used to it. Now, I've already told you what I'm doing. If there's nothing else, I suggest making the most of your time touring the campus. That's just what we were planning. Thanks for your consideration. You take care as well, Professor. Of course, I had no intention of doing otherwise, but I'll accept your well wishes. Alright, so we gotta go... Where's this guy at? He's over there.
ここがバーゼル理科大学。なんだか身が引き締まりますね。
ああ、まさに共和国最高の学術機関って雰囲気だな。こういうとこでのキャンパスライフってのもちょっと憧れちまうな。
天体観測は暗くなってからだし、今のうちにいろいろと
Oh no, he's down below. God damn it.
見ないとね。
A Sharit's here. My goodness, I had my own reservation about Master Thompson's reinstatement. But as I understand it, everything seems to be going smoothly. You have my support. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm ashamed to have caused you trouble last year, Your Highness. I'll never make the same mistake again. I will dedicate myself to this company. Well, you did do a lot of dubious things last year. But there's no denying your skill in bringing together various industries over the years. With courage, you're sure to lead Vern in the right direction. Indeed, I'll be counting on you now, Tossin. There's more to discuss, but it appears we have some guests. Ah, it's all you. Sorry, it looks like you're in the middle of something. We didn't mean to interrupt. It's no problem at all. You've already finished the complicated business. If you'd like, why don't you join us? I see. It sounds like there's a lot of strong opinions about Tossin's return as the CEO back in Elzheim. It can't be helped. They've invested quite a lot after all. That said, it feels more like more and more people are willing to give me a second chance. Considering your achievements and the sincerity you've displayed since your return, it's not hard to see why. I had a talk with him myself. It's convinced me that he's the right man for the job. I'm sure of it. And I intend to encourage my father to give his support as well. That's a lot more generous than I expect. Well, Professor Hamilton made the request. Seeing as how much she's done for our nation, we can't just ignore what she says. Even the professors supported my return. I fear I'll never be able to return the favor. Not that she'd ever abandon you, given her humanity and moral obligations. Sounds like everyone really loves and trusts the professor. She definitely has a different style from Professor Schmidt and the others, obvious as it is. She is certainly special among Epstein's disciples. She has a philosophy of getting close to people and supporting them all equally. That's the cornerstone of all her research. And no matter how much times change, her self-sacrificing nature never does. It isn't just whole countries indebted to her, but entire generations. I was lucky enough to work with her long ago on a variety of her projects. And each time I've seen problems with the people, I recognized that she was truly saving them. While I haven't gotten to join her on the eastern part of the continent, I'm sure that they're even more grateful to her. Even at Elzheim, our appreciation for her is deep in our roots. For years, the professor has been an intermediary between Elzheim and the Republic when it comes to sharing technological advancements. Sure, we owe a lot to our mineral resources, but the development of our nation can be traced back to her influence. I think it's easy for us to feel close to her since she's half Central Eastern. I worked with the professor on behalf of the ICO when it seems she's left throughout the Central East, not just in Elzheim. And don't forget her undiscriminating love for all. People everywhere feel a strong bond with the professor. Even at the Foundation, everyone talks about her character and achievements. She's really so much more than I had been led to believe back in the Empire. You know, all of the big mistakes I made were while she was away. She really was a huge help as a consultant to the Verne Company. But I can't lean on her any longer. I have to guide the Verne Company forward with my own two hands. Hearing all this is just another reminder of the professor's character. Yeah, wish I could have talked with her more. If you're staying in the Republic, then you may get another chance. Now, would you like to take a look inside the Institute? Yes, we would. We should still be open for a while yet, so feel free to look around. If you run into any problems, just let me know. Thank you again for your help. Sorry we interrupted. We'll make sure to enjoy a tour of the campus. I didn't really come to talk to you about that, but hey man. One second here. Before I talk to this man. Someone's texting me. Alright. I see you're something new to discuss, members of Thor's Military Academy. Yes, thank you for your time. You see, we were hoping to get your assistance with the request we've undertaken. Is that right? I'll help to whatever extent I can, then. What is it you wish to ask? Well, our client wants us to investigate some wild rumors going around. Hear anything about a scandal rocking the Verne Company right now, by any chance? You mean to say there is one? You've still have to deal with it post-haste. This is the first he's heard of it, evidently. It didn't seem like he thinks it could apply to him in any way, either. Wow, he really has no idea, does he? Better get down to brass tacks, then. I'll be blunt, Mr. Dawson. The rumors we're looking into regarding you. They include some audio and photograph evidence that we'd like you to fact-check, if that's alright. What? About me? I don't believe I've done anything wrong, though. Please tell me more. I'll try with all sincerity to explain myself however I am able. First, there's this picture of you speaking with your woman. Ah, her. I believe she was job hunting. She was a job hunting student that I interviewed recently. A job hunting student? Yeah, she came a long way from the countryside for our appointment, after which she did some sightseeing in town. This photo must have been when I chanced upon her in town. She said hello and I offered her some encouragement. But who in the world would take a photo of that? Why? That's not as juicy as I was gearing up for. Feels way more on brand, though. This guy and lady kid don't exactly go hand in hand. You guys? And what about this photo? It seems to be giving some impression that you have a connection to the underworld. Ah, this person is the executive director of a trading company. We've known each other for a long time now. His eyes are rather sensitive, so he often wears sunglasses on days when the sun is particularly bright. As it happens, everyone in the sales department or the headquarters knows him, so you're welcome to speak with him if you like, if you have any doubts. I see. Then what about this recording? This company belongs to me. Our subsidiaries are disposable. Nice body on you. What is this? It doesn't sound like me, but I don't recall saying anything of the sort. There are indications that the audio was deliberately spliced. Do you recall any remarks you made that could have been edited together in this way? This company belongs to me. That bit does bring something to mind. It was during a private conversation between Cohen and myself not too long ago. If memory serves, I said something along the lines of, this company is my life, so to speak. All responsibility for it belongs to me. Our subsidiaries are to be handled with careful consideration. We must first dispose of their concerns in an orderly, dependable manner. Nice word. Listen, overstaying yourself. It'll all be for nothing if your body gives out on you. Assuming you recall correctly, then it's definitely plausible that those sound bites are clipped from that conversation. And if you two were to talk one-on-one and it was recorded, it's all come together. Should have figured as much. Yeah, this seems like it's a setup from the start to finish. What do you want to do now, Reem? Well, if we come this far, I think it'll make sense to lay it up bare to the man himself get his cooperation. This won't be easy to discuss, but from what the circumstances suggest... So, you're investigating Cohen's request then? At the risk of echoing him, I'm inclined to ask that you get to the bottom of these baseless hoaxes myself. Oh yes, of course. Maybe just be Spriggans by proxy, but we'll give it our all. Not that we don't already have a grasp of what's going on here. The key now is pinpointing who's behind it all. The perpetrator had to be capable of procuring those photos and that recording as well as propagating his word of them within the company. What's more, potentially stand a gain from framing Mr. Tossin. Right. Narrow down the suspects, and the one who spread that disinformation can only be... shit. I gotta pick again? Oh, fuck me. Cohen, obviously, because he's the only one around. None other than Cohen, your secretary and our client. He was in position to prepare the photos and audio by himself. No, how can that possibly be? It's true he was present at every occasion, but... It's only conjecture based on circumstantial evidence, of course, but the likelihood is high. Didn't he himself hire to investigate these false accusations, though? Actually, that's what stuck out to me from the get-go. He asked us to investigate the rumors themselves, but not their source. And he didn't say a word about putting a stop to them either. If anything, it sounded off as if he sought from us was verification. Following that train of thought, maybe his aim was to have us confirm the rumors as unbiased outsiders. That way, we'd have to solidify and spread them even further. Roundabout doesn't even begin to describe that. But had we taken the bait, it could have been the final nail in the coffin. Cohen was appointed by Director Durek, a member of our board who took over as CEO during my dismissal. He's proven highly capable, but we haven't been quiet for very long, so there's not much I know on a personal level. Would you object to me calling for him right now? I must learn whether he is truly the culprit, and if so, what his motivations are. And those are the things I have to hear from the man's own mouth. Mr. Tossin, I understand. Go ahead and call Cohen over. We have to relay the results of our investigation to him anyway. Wait. You ready to report on the request? I didn't realize the CEO himself would be present. I'm going to give him the rundown of what we uncovered during the course of our investigation. Be sure to express that they had cleared this man in malicious intent. In short, you conclude that Mr. Tossin is free from fault. Very well then. I'll continue to dig into the room myself and see if I can't determine their origin. That's quite enough, Cohen. All I want to know is, what's this you're doing? So that's it. You managed to figure me out. I expected a third party would be quicker to see, but evidently that wasn't the case. Now that I'm caught, there's nothing to be done. I resign myself to whatever punishment you deem sufficient. Just as we thought. Hiring us really was a ploy to push your smear campaign. But why? Who could drive an outstanding secretary like you to do such a thing? We're well past the point of words by now. But I'll tell you this much. I only acted with the good of the company in mind. The good of the company? That is the most I can say. Is that because you're trying to protect someone else who's also a part of this? Come to think of it, he was appointed by the previous CEO, right? If you put two and two together... Bullseye. You're straight with us here. Was he the guy who put you up to this? As I already stated, I acted with the good of the company in mind. Full stop. He didn't outright deny it, which is a near surefire sign Durek is involved. I just couldn't accept the idea of entrusting the Vern Company to you again, Tossins. Focusing solely on profits and gains, he failed to prevent what happened to Professor Callaghan, or manage the litigation between our affiliates. Your reinstatement as CEO not only defies our sins, but robs the company of the opportunity to change. Mr. Durek should be in your place instead, steering us toward reform. I acknowledge that I have yet to fully earn your trust, as I just acknowledged my past transgressions. However, that's all the more reason why I must make amends with my own two hands. It is toward that aim that I reassume my position. I'm well aware of Durek's capabilities, as well as the reliance so many employees place in him. But even still, I refuse to capitulate. Not to a man who'd stoop to reclaim power through vile mudslinging. Mr. Tossins. Just how genuine is that determination? I pledge not to only rise up at the backs of my past failing, but to achieve results that more than outweigh them. In this way, I will strive to become a man worthy of confidence. Yours and Durek's both. So you need to place your faith in me on the spot. All I ask for now is that you give me the chance. At least until such time that I can repay this company in what way I'm able. Mr. Tossins, you really have changed. Compared to you, Director Durek and I. Go wait in the other room for now. I'll inform you when the consequences of your action are decided. Allow me to express my gratitude once again. It's because of you that these malicious rumors have been stemmed. That being said, I'll have to fix whatever foibles of mine allow this to occur without me noticing. What about the turncoat? You gotta give him the boot at the very least. That wouldn't be the end of it, though, if it turns out that the previous CEO really is involved to an extent. Quite so. If you don't mind, may I ask you a suggestion on how to approach this? Just for my consideration. I'd appreciate your objectivity as a third party, not to mention the ones who actually solved this problem. Arkwright Solutions often provides consultations of this nature to complete their jobs, as I understand it. You want our advice? Well, alright. It's not my area of expertise, but I'll try to come up with something. What kind of middle ground would Arkwright propose in this situation? I don't need more chaos. Corner the ex-CEO. Gray's lagging behind. This should be just about good enough, I think. The proper course is to take this issue to court, without also me exposing the company's weakness to the world at large. I have a meeting could be to put it on the agenda at the board meeting and sort it out privately instead. That may be as far as saving face is concerned. However, doing so would sow discord within the board of directors itself. I still have our operational stability to consider, factional tensions to keep in check. But on the other hand, this could be your big break. Play that meeting right, and you can gain some solid ground out of this ordeal. Yeah, even if the board ultimately decides to punish those wrongdoings publicly. If all goes well, you may be able to reassert your place at the helm of the company. When you put it that way, I certainly see how how it might lead to more corporate unity. But is that true within my capabilities? No. Hesitating at this juncture would strip my reinstatement of all meaning. Very well. For the sake of pulling this company back together, I'll have this matter addressed internally. Sweet. Audios above. Quickly resort to a character assassination to try and enforce my resignation. If it weren't for all you, I might not have been noticed. Deepest thanks for that. Think nothing of it. We were just carrying out our proxy work as the best we could. I'm sure Arkra and his team would have found a better way to resolve this. No need to be modest. You presented a satisfactory compromise, for which I have no complaint. As for your payment, expect a transfer from my end. Thanks, but if you really want to do us a favor, try being less of a sitting duck from now on. Yeah, maybe cover up a few of those easy targets painted all over you. You guys, shush! Honest to a fault as ever. That's quite alright. It's a fact that my vulnerabilities invite exploitation, as evidenced by today. As such, I intend to consider this as a lesson learned. A call for me to shape up and run this company with grit and resolve. Perhaps this debacle is simply a trial of sorts. A chance for me to make a fresh start. Well, it's been a privilege helping you weather it. I don't mean to sound too forward, but know that you have our support, Mr. Tossins. And do you mind, members of Thor's Military Academy, and all your future endeavors. Sweet! I did it! I conquered the rumors! Alright, now I need to do law. Law's next. Alright, I'm gonna wrap it up here. We're way over time. So when we come back, we'll continue our 4 SPGs, and then we will see what happens next. So, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you then. Later.